Hello everyone and welcome back to another GTA Online guide, where today I'll be going over some of the essentials of using the Rockstar editor in depth. Now in a previous video I showed briefly how to make a simple gameplay recording using the in-game recorder and then rendering it with Rockstar editor. But I didn't really go into depth of how to control all of the cameras, add effects and do all of that kind of stuff, so let's hop right in, shall we? So in case you don't already know, to access the Rockstar editor you first got to go into single player. Then in the pause menu go all the way to the right till you see the Rockstar editor. Click on that and you'll be brought right into the menu. So from here you've got a whole bunch of options, but to get us started we're going to create a new project for this video. Then once you're in here the only thing you'll be able to click on is add clip. This is the point where I hope you've actually recorded some footage from the game recorder, otherwise you're going to look like a right divvy. Anyways, choose a clip from your vast collection that you'll no doubt have. I'm just going to choose this footage of me and my friend driving a cop car here to get us started. Then it'll ask you where you want to place the clip in your timeline. Since you start off with nothing, just press accept here and then press on the video to go into edit mode. So for this video I'm going to assume you're using a controller to input controlling the editor. I'm on PC myself, but I personally find it more comfortable and enjoyable using a controller. So upon arriving here in edit mode you'll be greeted by a very long line going across the bottom of your screen. This is the timeline of your video, and on the start and the end of the line are two markers. Markers are what do most of the action in the Rockstar editor, and once you get used to using markers you'll be the next movie director of Los Santos or something. Anyways, before I do anything, I personally like to set the first marker to trigger free camera mode. So to quickly snap between markers, just tap the left and right shoulder buttons to flip between markers. You start off with only two markers, those being the start and the end, so flipping the shoulder buttons will just snap you from the beginning and the end of the video. So to make the first marker trigger a free camera, highlight the marker on the left and select camera, which is on the top of the toolbox. By default it's going to be the game camera, which as you can imagine the camera emulates what the camera did when you were playing the game and doing the recording. We press right to switch that to the free camera and chocks away, we've got a whole bunch of new options to try out. The look target function is useful for making the camera constantly stare at a given target, whether that be yourself or any nearby players that happen to also be in your recording. Move with target means that the camera stays in a fixed position relative to said target. So if you want the camera to follow you, kinda like the game camera, only in a more free manner, then you can do that. Blend mode, well, you'll learn about that shortly. Shake, this allows you to put some epic earthquakes in your video in case you want to recreate a disaster scenario or something, but also has effects for being drunk among other things. Edit camera allows you to move the camera wherever you want, though the camera is bound by rules set to by either look at or move with target rules. Once you've decided on what the camera is going to do for the start of the video, you can quickly take a look at what happens in the clip by using the right thumbstick left and right. Once you've decided on what the camera is going to do for the start of the video, you can quickly take a look at what happens in the clip by using the right thumbstick left and right. So let's say right at the start of the clip nothing really interesting is happening, or you want to cut out some of the boring stuff. Well, what you can do is grab the left or right marker by holding down both shoulder buttons and moving it with the thumbstick, then let go once you're happy. So let's move on to camera changes. Let's say at X point in time you want the camera to change to a different spot instantly to get a better view of what's going on. Doing this is pretty simple. Simply hover over the point in time you want the camera change to happen, then press the A button. You'll see now that there's a new marker been added to the timeline. This works exactly the same as other markers, so go ahead and make the changes to the marker you want. You could change where the camera is located, slow down time, or add some earthquakes to add to the scene. Once you're happy, give the marker a test by navigating to a point in time before the marker comes into effect, then use the right trigger to play the movie. If there's something wrong with it, you can just snap to the marker again by using the shoulder buttons. Once you're happy with the static marker, we can now try working with camera pans. For a camera to pan correctly, it must have two markers. The first marker acts as the start point for the camera pan to take place, whereas the other marker acts as the ultimate point in where you want the camera to end up after the pan is complete. So let's say you wanted to look at the car for about 3 seconds in this static position, and then have the camera pan around to the back. You would first add a pan start marker about 3 seconds away from the first static marker, followed by a second marker which will act as the pan end point. First, make an edit to the end pan marker to tell the editor where you want the camera to end up after the pan is complete. Then go back to the marker before, hover over blend mode, and then change it to either linear or smooth. Smooth makes the pan more natural, starting the pan slowly, then speeding up towards the middle, and then slowing back down when it gets to the end of the pan, whereas linear holds a solid pan speed throughout. What you've done is told the start pan marker to slowly transition to the following marker. So instead of just popping to the next camera change on the last marker, it'll slowly transition there in the timeline between the two markers. So now you know how to work the camera. On the most part, you now know how to use the Rockstar editor. One other thing you should know is the change from one recording to another. Simply save the changes you've made on the current clip by just pressing B when not in a mini menu, and it'll ask you if you want to save the changes. Press yes and you'll be taken back to your movie timeline where you'll see your edited clip from before, but you can also go back further to add an extra clip that you want to add to the movie. Just pick one and choose where you want to place it. Make changes to that clip and play around with your entire movie to create something unique. There's a plethora of other things you can do within the editor, including adding sound effects, radio station music, which isn't very YouTube safe if you want to upload to YouTube, but you can also implement some of the score music from GTA 5 itself, which will be YouTube safe. So overall, after watching this video, hopefully you'll know how to do most things in the Rockstar editor to create such things as and even more, so get out there and make some videos, champ. That is, unless you're still playing GTA 5 on PS3 and Xbox 360, in which case, what the hell are you doing? Dish out some cash and go buy an upgrade, you weirdo. And hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the Pyrerealm Gaming channel for loads more GTA Online guides coming to you very soon. See you around!